Certain people, I hope you're all well. I've been so busy out here, so busy. Still am about to go and do a day's work. But I want to quickly take the time out to talk about the aftermath of Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. So obviously Oleksandr Usyk won the fight. What is next for both fighters? What should both fighters do? This is what I'm going to talk about very briefly. I want to make a video, another video, so we'll see if I have the time to do it. Talking about some other stuff. But Oleksandr Usyk won the fight. What should happen next? Well, apparently they're contracted to have a rematch. So that might end the video right there and then. But let's talk about some other potentials, because both fighters for me are past their best. If Oleksandr Usyk continues, people are going to go on that Oleksandr Usyk's amazing, and he's been a great fighter, but no fighter is invincible. Styles make fights and so much goes into it. If Oleksandr Usyk continues, he will take an L. It's not just because he might come against a fighter who's better than him. People have off days. What if he has his worst day and another fighter has their best day? Oleksandr Usyk is 37 years old. You really think he can hold off the young lions like Richard Torres, like Jalalov, like Anderson? Like, there are fighters up and coming. Fighters are up and coming in the game. So if Oleksandr Usyk continues, he will take it down. He will. And it might be against someone you're not expecting him to. So I'm proposing that Oleksandr Usyk bows out the game now. You know, he's undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight, undefeated. Bow out the game now. Unless you really need that money, you need that bag, then bow out the game. Bow out the game with your legacy intact. Because if he continues at 30, he's 37. If he continues for another couple of years, he'll be 39. You really think he's already started to slow down? This isn't prime Oleksandr Usyk. Prime Oleksandr Usyk, people, was at cruiserweight. Watch him at cruiserweight, watch him at heavyweight. He's actually quite a bit better when he's at cruiserweight. He's lost quite a lot of speed. When he was fighting Tyson Fury in that fight, I've never seen Oleksandr Usyk not move his head as much, be as stationary and get caught as much. So for me, I think that Oleksandr Usyk really needs to consider retirement. Because when you hit the pinnacle and you hit the top, sometimes the only way is down. Tyson Fury, on the other hand, 35 years old, he's more removed from his prime than Oleksandr Usyk, and I think that may be a consequence of his lifestyle choices. Tyson Fury's chin seems to be cracked at this point. Tyson Fury getting hurt now is a regularity in fights. Now, Tyson Fury was always hurtable in fights. He was always droppable in fights. He was always getting dropped in fights. But he just seems more vulnerable now. He seems more vulnerable than he's ever been. He was hurt against Ngannou, down against Ngannou, down against Oleksandr Usyk for all intents and purposes. His punch resistance is decreasing, in my opinion, and most fighters' punch resistance does decrease with age. Also, his feet are slowed down. People, that's not a good recipe. That is a recipe for disaster. That is not a good combination. To have your foot speed slow down so you're more stationary, and to have lowering punch resistance. You know, your punch resistance is going and your feet are slowing down. So you're basically more static with less punch resistance. People, that's not a good combination. Tyson Fury has been past his best for a while. I noticed it against Derek Chisora in the third fight. Although he won that fight, Derek Chisora, who's also past his best and has slow feet now, was able to march up to Tyson Fury and unload. Now, Tyson Fury won that fight, obviously, but I'm just saying, you know, sometimes when someone wins a fight, people, it kind of papers over the cracks and people, oh, but he won. And it's like, yeah, he won, but I saw things in that fight that were alarming to me. And that's what I saw in the third Chisora fight. Then he proceeded to look terrible against Ngannou. I feel like the Usyk fight, which he performed much better in that fight, was maybe the last hurrah. But for me, Tyson Fury, if he continues, he will lose more. And he will possibly lose by stoppage. If he fights Anthony Joshua, right now, I'd be picking Anthony Joshua by knockout. And I'm not being reactionary. I always thought that Joshua's style was horrible for Fury. But at this stage, with the decreasing punch resistance, I'd be picking Joshua by stoppage. So for both fighters, I think if I was managing both, I would advise Oleksandr Usyk to bow out the game. If I was Tyson Fury, he's already taken that L, so he's not going to have that unbeaten record anymore. I would suggest that he goes in there and fights Anthony Joshua. Now, I'd be picking Anthony Joshua to win the fight, but he could bow out with a British dust-up. And he has a chance, he has a shot in that fight because Joshua has his flaws, but he goes in there, he's already lost, so he goes in there, he rolls the dice, and whatever happens, happens, and retire after that and get that paycheck. That's my opinion. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video, and if you want to leave a donation, there's also a link for that in the description. With that, enjoy the rest of your day. See you on the next one.